Welcome, fellow explorers of the unknown. Buckle up for an exciting ride. Today, we're embarking on a journey into the fascinating world of fuels, where the most unlikely contender, hydrogen, takes on the heavyweight champions like gasoline, natural gas, and propane. But how does this humble element measure up against these titans of energy? If you're all about fun discoveries, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Ready to unlock the secrets? Let's dive in. Now let's dive headfirst into the mysterious world of hydrogen and understand what sets it apart as a fuel. Imagine hydrogen as the invisible hero of the periodic table. It's colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic, and non-poisonous. It's the James Bond of elements, slipping under the radar effortlessly, like natural gas and propane, which come with their distinct smell, courtesy of sulfur-containing odorants. Hydrogen is scent-free. It's like trying to catch a whiff of a phantom. But here's where things get interesting. Hydrogen is about 57 times lighter than gasoline vapor and 14 times lighter than air. Picture it as the David among Goliaths. If released into the open, it'll pull a disappearing act, rising and dispersing rapidly. This, my friends, is a safety advantage when we're outdoors. But what happens when hydrogen goes indoors? Well, that's when its small size becomes a double-edged sword. You see, hydrogen is prone to leakage due to its low viscosity. In a confined space, leaked hydrogen can accumulate and potentially reach a flammable concentration. Remember, any gas other than oxygen can be a suffocating presence when concentrated. So, in closed environments, even the tiniest hydrogen leaks become a cause for concern, especially since hydrogen is impossible for human senses to detect. But don't fret, proper ventilation and the use of detection sensors can be your trusty sidekicks in mitigating these hazards. Now here's where it gets tricky. Hydrogen boasts a high energy content by weight, but not by volume, which presents a unique challenge for storage. To store substantial quantities of hydrogen gas, we have to compress it and store it at high pressures. For safety, hydrogen tanks are equipped with pressure relief devices, like safety nets for the daredevils. But what happens when hydrogen meets fire? Let's talk about auto-ignition temperature. That's the lowest temperature at which a substance will spontaneously ignite without the presence of a flame or spark. Hydrogen and natural gas share a similar trait here, with auto-ignition temperatures soaring over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, way higher than the auto-ignition temperature of gasoline vapor, which is, let's say, a bit of a pyromaniac in comparison. But here's the kicker. Hydrogen's flammability range is a wild roller coaster spanning from 4% to 75% in air. Under ideal conditions, just a tiny spark can set it off. But at low concentrations, it's like the diva of flammability, demanding more energy to catch fire. And here's the cherry on top. Hydrogen burns with a pale blue flame that's practically invisible in daylight. It's the Harry Potter of flames. Imagine trying to spot that in broad daylight. You'd need some magic, or at least a thermal imaging camera. At night, though, it's a different story, and hydrogen flames become visible. We've ventured into the world of gaseous hydrogen, but now it's time to unravel the mysteries of its liquid form. Liquid hydrogen is like the chameleon of fuels, with different characteristics and unique potential hazards to keep scientists and engineers on their toes. Imagine this. Liquid hydrogen is stored at a bone-chilling minus 423 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature that can make even the iciest of winters seem like a tropical paradise. It's so cold that it could give you cryogenic burns or lung damage if you're not careful. Think of it as the Elsa of the energy world, a frozen powerhouse. That's why, when dealing with potential liquid hydrogen leaks or spills, Detection sensors and personal protective gear become your trusty companion in this frosty environment. Safety precautions are as crucial as a warm winter coat in a blizzard. Now here's where it gets fascinating. The volume ratio of liquid to gas hydrogen is about 1 to 850. That means if you have a gallon of liquid hydrogen, that same amount of hydrogen in its gaseous form would theoretically occupy about 850-gallon containers. It's like having Mary Poppins' bottomless bag, but in gas form. But beware, my friends, because when liquid hydrogen meets warmer surroundings, it undergoes a rapid phase change, transforming from a shy liquid into an exuberant gas. As it warms up, its vapors expand rapidly, increasing a staggering 848 times in volume as it reaches room temperature. Picture this as a blockbuster movie in the making. The tension builds as the gas expands, ready to burst onto the scene. Now let's talk pressure. If that gas is confined, say trapped between the valves closing off a length of pipe and left to warm without pressure relief, we're talking about pressures that could rival a rocket launch. We're talking up to 25,000 psia. That's enough force to launch you into orbit, metaphorically speaking. And what happens next is nothing short of a Hollywood explosion scene. Ignition becomes almost certain, leading to high-speed shrapnel and chaos. It's like a Michael Bay movie, but in real life. Plus, hydrogen displaces the oxygen in the air. It acts like an asphyxiant, suffocating anything in its path. So when dealing with liquid hydrogen, it's not just about handling cold, it's about taming a potential energy beast. So, how does knowing all this help us in the real world? Well, understanding the properties of hydrogen is crucial for designing safe facilities and workspaces. Think of it as being an architect who knows all the quirks of the building materials. With this knowledge, you can configure your workspace to mitigate hazards by leveraging the unique characteristics of hydrogen. But remember, it's not just about hydrogen. Whether you're dealing with hydrogen, methane, or gasoline, understanding their properties is the key to safety. It's like knowing the strengths and weaknesses of your superhero team before sending them out to save the day. Now let's dive into how hydrogen's unique properties shape the design of facilities and workspaces in a nutshell. Number 1, ventilation and detection. Facilities handling hydrogen need efficient ventilation and detection systems to prevent the buildup of flammable concentrations. Detection sensors act as vigilant guards, swiftly identifying potential leaks. Number 2, storage solutions. Hydrogen's high energy content by weight but low volume poses a storage challenge. It's compressed and stored at high pressures, requiring pressure relief devices for safety. Number 3, facility layout. Hydrogen storage areas must be segregated from ignition sources. Proper layout minimizes risks like orchestrating a well-choreographed dance. Number 4, safety protocols. Comprehensive safety protocols and personnel training are essential. Everyone should understand hydrogen's properties and emergency response procedures. Number 5, emergency response plans. Just like the superheroes have contingency plans, facilities need detailed emergency response plans for leaks, fires, and other incidents. Number 6, materials selection. Hydrogen compatibility must guide material selection for equipment and infrastructure to maintain long-term integrity. And number 7, regulatory compliance. Adherence to strict regulatory standards is crucial for safety and environmental protection. In a nutshell, hydrogen's properties impact facility design, emphasizing safety, efficiency, and compliance. Understanding these properties ensures a safer and more sustainable future. And there you have it, our journey through the world of hydrogen and its quirks, both in gaseous and liquid forms. It's like having a chemistry lesson mixed with an action movie. Who knew science could be this thrilling? But before we wrap up this episode, I want to hear from you, our fearless viewers. What do you think about hydrogen as a fuel? Is it the future, or are there too many quirks and challenges? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed this adventure. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with all of our future exploration and discoveries, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that curious spirit alive.